Hello everyone, welcome to Australia and welcome to Australian Book Travels. Before we begin our adventure today, I would like to warn you that in a few areas of this episode you may hear footsteps and in one or two places breathing. I have had to leave these in the footage because they are amongst bird call, which I did not want to sacrifice. I wanted you to be able to hear their positivity and beauty. So, that having been said, let's get on with it. Today we are in the Southern Highlands village of Mittagong in New South Wales, which is approximately 111 kilometres south of Sydney, 176 kilometres northeast of Canberra, 725 kilometres northeast of Bendigo, and 767 kilometres northeast of Melbourne, with a population of around 6,100 and an average yearly rainfall of around about 790 millimetres. The towns of Berrima, Bowral and Mossvale that we have visited over the last few weeks are close to Mittagong. If you have not already viewed these episodes, may I suggest you do. I will add their link in the description box below. Mittagong sits between three mountain reserves: Mount Alexandra at around 780 metres above sea level, Mount Gibraltar at approximately 888 metres above sea level, and 90 Acre Hill at almost 800 metres above sea level. And so it is believed that the name of Mittagong is derived from the Aboriginal word meaning little mountain, or a companion, or plenty of native dogs, as the Mittagong Range was once home to many dingoes. There are lookouts at all three of these mountain reserves, and later today we will visit the lookout at Mount Gibraltar Reserve. The first European settler to this region in 1821 was William Chalker, or Charker, a former convict transported from England. Chalker, or Charker, eventually became the town's police constable, pound keeper of the cattle, and principal overseer of government stock. Between 1821 and 1865, the area was subdivided into varying sizes of properties, estates and commercial enterprises, until Mittagong became an established town with the advent of the rail line in 1867. Many industries have been successful in Mittagong over the centuries, with iron production being the first and most predominant. The transport of iron ore and smelted iron was by steam rail initially. The man-made lake, Lake Alexandra, was a water supply dam for the railway engines. It was drained when the Mittagong Land Company gave the land to council. It was later cleaned and planted for wildlife, where residents and visitors would spend time to relax and unwind and admire the flora and fauna using the lake. In 1992, the Hume Highway, a major transport vein from Melbourne, Victoria through to Sydney, bypassed the towns of Sutton Forest, Mossvale, Bowral and Mittagong. This saw large trucks, transport vehicles and transients head to Sydney without a second thought for the small towns they once dominated. Initially, this had a negative impact on each town's social and economic viability. But slowly over the decades, the beautiful villages of the Southern Highlands have in fact benefited by not having the large volume, noise and presence of this heavy traffic, which has then allowed for a more peaceful, pedestrian-friendly village vibe that we have today. Hidden at one end of town, in a small valley beyond a road bridge, amongst ageing, shade-giving gum trees, is an abandoned and derelict building known as the Maltings. Now a shell of its former self, this malt house was once a hive of activity and industry, boosting Mittagong's economy and boasting as the major beer company of New South Wales, known as Tooth & Co. Well over 100 years old, the malt house now stands almost forgotten as a reminder of a productive and interesting industry in Mittagong's history. As with most towns in the lush and scenic Southern Highlands, Mittagong really does have everything a visitor needs or wants. Retail and antique shops aplenty, bushwalks, incredible Indigenous and European history, waterfalls, lakes, many and varied wineries, all modes of transport including buses and rail, 8 churches, 6 schools, boutique and accessible holiday accommodation, pubs, wine bars, coffee shops, restaurants, and more traditional takeaway food businesses. And of course, the heritage listed buildings such as the railway station, the old Mittagong post office and the Hassel and Jeffreys cottages. And we must not forget the Chamber Music Festival each Easter and the Waratah Flower Display each November. A stay here deserves a week or more of your time. Relax and unwind, or enjoy a more energetic getaway. The choice is yours. I'm very much doubting you're going to be able to see on the camera what I can see by eye, but we are currently standing on Mount Gibraltar in the Southern Highlands, and if you can see between the trees, there's some white spots through there. That is Mittagong, the township of Mittagong. But we can't really see a lot because of the trees are obstructing, but that's okay. Better to have the trees there for the wildlife. But I'm hoping you can see, and then of course in the distance there's the hills there. And lots of cloud. It is meant to thunderstorm later today. And you can possibly see the trees moving. There is a little bit of wind. So that is Mittagong, standing on Mount Gibraltar in the Southern Highlands, New South Wales. Everyone, we end our journey here for this week. But next week holds a promise of another interesting adventure in another amazing country town. We would love you to join us then. If we do not see you at our Monday morning book recommendation on the channel, we hope to see you at our next travel episode. Until then, stay safe everyone. Happy reading, safe travels. Bye for now. If you have enjoyed this or any other video on the channel, please do consider subscribing, liking, sharing and commenting. It helps us to bring more content to you in the future. Thank you.